Hey y'all, this is Church from Church's Intake. So let's get into it. We're going to go from Ecclesiastes 7, 1 through 29, 8, 1 through 9. Wisdom and folly compared. Yes, let's talk about this wisdom and let's talk about the false ones. All right, so let's get into this. A good name is better than a precious ointment, and the day of the death than the day of one's birth. It is better to go into the house of mourning than to go into the house of feasting, for that is the end of all men, and the living will lay on it to his heart. Sorrow is better than laughter, for by the sadness of the contentants the heart is made better. The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of a fool is in the house of mirth. It is better to hear the rebuke of the wise than for a man to hear the song of fools. For as the crackling of thorns under a pot is so is the laughter of the fool. This also is vanity. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. Better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof. And the patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit. Be not hasty in thy spirit to be angry, for anger resisteth in the bosom of fools. Say not thou, what is the cause that the former days were better than these? For thou doeth not inquire wisely concerning this. Wisdom is good with the inheritance, and by in there it profit to them. Oh my God, that see the sun. For wisdom is the defense, and money is a defense. But the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom groweth life to them that have it. Consider the work of God, for who can make that straight which he hath made crooked? In the days of prosperity be joyful, but in the days of adversity consider God also hath set the one over against the other, to the end that man should find nothing after him. All things have I seen in the day of my vanity. There is a just man that perisheth in his righteousness, and there is a wicked man that prolongeth his life in his wickedness. Be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise. They shouldeth thou destroy thyself. Be not over much wicked, neither be thou foolish. Why shouldeth thou die before thy time? It is good that thou shouldest take hold of this, yea, also from the withdrawn not thine hand, for he that feareth God shall come forth of them all. And 10 mighty men which are in the city, for there is not a just man upon earth that doeth good and sinneth not. Also, take no heed unto the all words that are spoken, lest thou hear thy servant curse thee. For oftentimes also thine own heart knoweth that thou thyself likewise have cursed others. All this have I proved by wisdom. I said I will be wise, but it was far from me. That which is far off and exceeding deep, who cannot find it out? I applaud mine heart to know and to search and to seek out wisdom and the reason of things, and to know the wickedness of folly, even of foolishness and madness. And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is scored, whose heart scars and net, and her hand is as bands. Whoso pleaseth God shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her. Behold, this have I found, saith the preacher, counting one by one to find out the account which yet my soul seeketh, but I find not. One man among 1,000 I have found, but a woman among all those have I not found. Lo, is only have I found that God hath made man upright, but thy have sought out many inventions. Who is as the wise man? Who is knowing? Who knoweth the interpretation of these things? A wise man maketh his face to shine, and the boldness of his face shall be changed. I counsel thee to keep in the king's commandments, that I regard of the oath of God, but not hasty to go out of his sight. Stand not in evil things, for he doeth whatsoever pleaseth him. Where the word of a king is, there is power, and who may say unto him, what doest thou? Whoso keepeth the commandments shall feel no evil thing. And a wise man's heart discerneth both time and judgment, because to every purpose there is time and judgment. Therefore the misery of man is great upon him, for he knoweth not that which shall be, for who can tell him when it shall be? There is no man that hath power over the spirit to retain the spirit, neither hath he power in the day of death. And there is no discharge in that war, neither shall wickedness deliver those that are given to it. All this have I seen, and applied my heart unto every work that in done under the sun. There is a time wherein one man ruleth over another in his own hurt. God bless the reading of his word. Yeah, I butchered that a little bit, but I would like you guys to go read that. That is Ecclesiastes 7, 1 through 29, and 8, 1 through 9. It basically talks about no man is righteous. As much as the preacher might claim to be like he knows all, or he thinks he knows what the spirit does and how the spirit operates, he doesn't know, because God didn't tell him. You know what I mean? God gives us things in part, and we know in part, and that's why you're supposed to test each spirit, and that's why you're supposed to always be ready to be reproved, because there's certain things everybody needs to practice on, and anyone that believes they're not sinning because they go to church or they say they don't drink and smoke or whatever, they're still sinning. It's actually a sin that they believe that they don't sin anymore, or believe that they're more righteous than another, when God is the only one that can measure sins. As I said, I'm not the strongest reader. You might not like that, but it is what it is, and it's definitely in the written word, and you should understand that and judge people accordingly. You know what I mean? You never know what someone's going through in life, and a lot of people out here like to, gaslight and perpetrate like they're doing all of this righteousness when they're truly not doing all of this righteousness. The only one that's doing righteousness is the ones that's following the will of God, following their purpose in life, and trying to better others to get to their purpose in life. So I'm going to leave that one right there. God bless the reading of his word. Subscribe to Church's Intake.